All right, here we are, guys, with our Midget D2 champs, Palm Bay Rockets. Sounds good, huh, Coach?
Sounds pretty good, yep.
All right, now, I tell you what, guys, this was an emotional game. I mean, back and forth, good plays, some plays that suddenly, what the heck's going on here? But you guys persevered, particularly in that last quarter, with those fans rocking, saying fourth quarter, Rockets quarter. I tell you, you really put it on. What was the secret, do you think, down the stretch for you guys?
Trying to just stay consistent with what we do well. You know, we do a lot of things pretty good, but there's only really one thing we do well, which is kind of our power game, our inside game. So just, you know, sticking with it. And I was in this guy's ear the whole time. Try this, throw this, and he just wanted to keep staying consistent inside, which was the right call. So claps to him.
Yeah, good for him too, yeah. and particularly opening up the holes so those guys
yeah.
could both inside off tackle, also around the end a couple of times. So there was a blocking up front that did a lot, right?
Yeah, first half blocking was not very good. We were getting good initial contact, but not staying on. Second half, much better.
I kept hearing you guys yelling, "Hold your blocks, hold your blocks." Was that a key to it, Coach?
Oh, absolutely. So we made a slight change in the fourth quarter. We normally run a gap blocking scheme, or we run a lot of down blocks. We weren't getting any movement interior. So we did for one drive, they actually game winner, we spread them out a little bit. We went to a 3 wide receiver set, and we started zone blocking them, kind of using their movement and getting them sideways. And then LaVincent Thomas and Tyrese Lyons were able to kind of dice them up a little bit with a little more space. All year long, we were loading people up on the strong side and hitting them off, backside, and we had a ton of success. And here, while we were at Disney, we have. But that coach over there, Wes Lynn, Maurice, unbelievable job. Their D coordinator, they had it coached up perfectly. They played us very balanced, and we couldn't get them to overplay us. So yeah, they had us all the way to the fourth quarter till we finally got something going.
I noticed they had a lot of speed on defense too. Guys were firing off the line. That was a tough one.
11 hats to the ball. They were quick to it, and they got off blocks really well. That was our biggest problem, is we couldn't stay engaged. They'd fight right off the blocks, and they were hitting our backs pretty. They banged them up pretty good.
One of the few times you really did mess them up was on a pass play out in the flat during that big drive. Now, was that something where you saw a possibility there, or what happened on that play?
Yeah, the corner, we all kind of saw, the coaches saw a couple plays. We ran that spread set, that corner kept backing up, so we saw we could hit him quick underneath, and he wouldn't have time to adjust, and hopefully make one move. We could get a big gain, ended up being a pretty big play for us. So, yeah, he kind of played soft.
We're kind of losing our backdrop there, but that's live television for you. We'll keep going. Defensively, you guys were no slouches there either. What did you do as far as looking at what they had for their sets and how you adjusted to it, Coach?
We basically played our base defense. They were coming real hard at it. This is the first team that ever ground and pounded all the way through, back and forth. The offensive coordinator of this team did a great job playing against our defense. They drove it a couple of times, but our D-line was finally able to stand up and push them back for a little while, and they held tough. I got to give it up to them. Vino, Jarvis, Ian, they played their butts off today.
I tell you, it was great. In terms of your team, just kind of wrapping up on the guys, what about the personality of this club, coaches? What do you think of these kids?
Odd. I mean, they're really not. I mean, usually you have a team that's had as much success as we've had. They're a little hard to control, but I mean, really, these kids. I mean, they're just.
I'll tell you one characteristic at the end of the day. They stayed poised, and our leadership came through.
Every time this year. A couple times this year,
when things got rattled, our players were able to calm it down. Even the coaches were getting rattled, and the players were able to just calm things down. We got some great leadership. Yeah. We just had an article in our local paper speaking about that. It's been one of the attributes of this team to lead to our success is good leadership.
And it seems to be the case when, especially, you had some drives where you had the fumble that goes into the end zone. Now, a lot of teams would have just collapsed at that point, but you came back.
We just laughed. I mean, we laughed. A lot of the coaches, a lot of the coaches were just laughing. Yeah. We're like, really?
Anything that could go wrong.
So it was kind of Murphy's Law. I was just saying when we walked up here, we were -5 in the turnover battle, and you still come out with a 6-point lead. I mean, I would have took a soccer game there. I took a 1-point win. So it's fine,
Well, I tell you, anytime
that team.
Yeah, I was going to say, and anytime the kids can come to the show, which is what this is, and comport themselves in a way that says, hey, what happens, we're going to persevere. And you guys did that, which was a key. Fellas, congratulations. Great national championship for you. Hope to see you again next year. Good job. Thanks a lot, guys.